Okay, so today we're going to be making this. It's only made with Adobe Products. I did not use Cinema 4D, which is what you would normally use to make something like that, but Adobe rolled out a new 3D program that I don't see a lot of people using right now. So I thought I'd make a tutorial on it, and here we go. Okay, so first we're going to start in Photoshop, and we're going to take this photo right here, and what we're going to be making is an extrusion. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically the lighter parts of the photo get pulled out and the darker parts of the photo will be pulled in. And you'll see how that works once we actually do the extrusion. But the link to this exact photo is in the description. It's on Unsplash. It's completely free. So you can go download that and if you want to follow along with me. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is start in Photoshop, and we're going to take this right here, go right in this area. We're going to want to cut in right about there, make it about this thick. That's it. And then we're going to go into the filter. We're going to go to select inverse so that we can erase these two parts right here. I'm going to take my eraser. Oh wait, first unlock your down here, unlock the photo so you can make it transparent what you're erasing, and just erase all that out. And then Control D to deselect. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go down here, new solid color, and what this is going to do is this little strand of the photo, that's going to be the part that's going to be the spiky part that's going to go around, and this back part is going to be the ball that's in the middle. So the darker you make this solid right here, the smaller the ball is going to be. So I'm going to make it right about here, and then we're going to take it and put it under the strip. Now select the layer of the photo we just cropped, Control T, and then we're just going to make it cross through the whole image. All right, perfect. Now this is important. Go to this thing right here and hit flatten image. If you don't do that, then whatever layer you selected, that's what's going to be the extrusion. So flattening basically flattens all the layers and makes it one photo. Here's the fun part. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up here to 3D, new mesh from layer, depth map 2, and then right on the bottom select sphere. Also, side note, if you go up to 3D and everything's gray and you can't click it, save your project, close it, and open it back up, and then try it again, and that might let you do it. And then just let it do its work. It may take a minute depending on how powerful your computer is, and you just gotta wait it out. Okay, so here we go, we got it. And that's basically it. Now if you only have Photoshop, you can actually render this out and this to be your 3D piece, and it'll have a shadow for you, but it won't even be half as interesting that we can make it in Dimension, which is the 3D program we're going to use next. So you have your piece, you can kind of scroll around, play with it, you can check it out. So that's it. Next what we're going to do, it's a really important part, go back up to 3D, export 3D layer. Now right up here where it says 3D file format, all the way at the bottom, pick wavefront OBJ. Dimension only lets you use OBJ or object files, so make sure you do that. And then right here on the dimensions, right here, if you were to just save it right now and you open it up, it'd be really, really small. So we want to make it bigger. So just take it right here, put in a bunch of numbers, because I don't know the exact number, and it'll say it needs to be between these two numbers, press OK, and that's the biggest you can make it. And then click OK, and then save it wherever you want. All right, so we're done with Photoshop. Now for the fun part. So save your Photoshop file and go to Adobe Dimension. If you don't have it, pause the video, download it. Doesn't take too long, and then you can follow along. Okay, so we're in Dimension. If this is your first time using Dimension, don't worry, I'll explain it. Hopefully I won't leave you in the dark on anything. So yeah, and it's not super complicated, but yeah, it's like a really small learning curve. So it's a really fun program. Definitely you should get to know it. So first thing you want to do, up here on environment, it'll say environment, click that, it'll say scene, and this is how big you want your picture to be, basically. So I always go 2000 by, and I kind of, on height, I just kind of slide it till I I always eyeball this part. It's not a huge deal for me. Okay, so next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna go up to File, Import 3D Model, and we're gonna go to that OBJ file we saved, and we're gonna click it. And again, this might take a while because it's a huge file, it's a big 3D, and it's just very CPU intensive, so if it takes a while to load, it's not abnormal. Alright, so it's imported, but I can't really see it right now except for this like big shadow. So what I'm gonna do, over here on the left, you're gonna see this arrow. You're gonna click it, and then you're just gonna drag it all the way back to where you can see it. And so what we have to do here is we gotta shrink it, because right now it's massive. So up here on the top, on the left here, you're gonna see a square with a little square on it. And you're gonna select that, hit this little middle triangle, and just drag it down, let it shrink. And then we're gonna go back to the arrow, zoom back in. And the reason we wanna make it smaller, not just leave it like that, is because if you wanna add any other 3D models that are in the program, they'd be really, really small compared to it, and you'd have to size them up really big, and it'd be really aggravating. So I'm gonna shrink it a little bit more. That's probably good. And we're gonna zoom back in. And so, just on a side thing, this panel right here, this is one of the most important panels in the program. So right here, these top three have to do with moving around your object, and these bottom four have to do with moving around the scene. So what I'll show you, so right here I'm gonna hit the hand, I'm gonna bring it up a little bit, and then I'm gonna hit this little circle, move it, and then right up here, I'm gonna go to the top, select my object, and then just rotate it. So I can see it, and then I sort of position it how I want it to be. Let's see. Yeah, that looks cool. Okay, another thing, up here on the top right, you're gonna wanna see the render view. Render view is what it would look like, you know, after it's rendered, the high quality, not this weird looking low quality version of it. And so I can't see it yet, but it'll load in a little bit. Render just, it takes forever. And if you want to see a higher, a bigger version of the render view, you just select that right there, and it'll show you. There we go. See, it's starting to load the render view. Okay, next we're gonna add some textures to our 3D model. So right over here, we're gonna hit materials, and these are all the materials you can apply to it. I'm gonna pick a really bright one, so this orange seems really cool. Make a selection. Okay, I gotta select my depth map. Okay, now I can put it in. Boom. Okay, next thing we're gonna do, you can leave it at this if you want. If that's cool enough for you, it's totally cool, but we're gonna make it a little better. So we're gonna hit this little magic wand here on the left, and what that does is I can select any part of this, and it'll see it, and it'll highlight it, and you can only select that one little part. And up here you can adjust the parameters of how sensitive the wand will be. So we're gonna just select the round circle part. You gotta give it a second. So it's gonna highlight, and then we're gonna add a glass texture to it. And again, if it takes a while, don't worry. Again, 3D is really powerful. It's annoying and slow, but it's really cool. And so now that that's highlighted, I'm gonna select glass, give it a glass texture, and I'm just gonna rotate the scene around, get a better view of the glass. Boom. And then you can see up there on the render view what the glass kind of looks like. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is render. So up here on the top left, click render. For the render quality, most of the time you can just pick low if you're just gonna post it to social media. If you're gonna maybe like print it or have it as like a desktop wallpaper, pick medium. But actually low is also good for desktop. But if you're gonna like print it out, use it for professional use, definitely pick medium or high. Then right here you can use it as a Photoshop. I just picked PNG because I'm not going to do anything to it later. And then I'm going to select where I'm going to save it. And then you just hit render, and it's going to take a while, render out, and then it'll look really cool. So yeah, thanks for watching this tutorial. If you use this and you make it, message me on Instagram or put in the comments that you made it. I'd love to see what you make. And yeah, I'll hopefully be making more tutorials. This is my first one. Tell me how I did. And if I did anything wrong in the tutorial that you know about, let me know. I'll take feedback. Thanks for watching.